The Kraft Foods Company brings you The Adventures of the Falcon, starring Les Damon.
Hello? Yes, this is the Falcon speaking. Oh, Phyllis. Oh, I'm glad you called. Now, you'll have to give me a rain check, Angel. I'm all tied up. But that's only temporary. Some efficiency expert is dropping around to demonstrate that if I plan my work properly, I'll have time to kill.
This is Ed Hurley, friends, inviting you on behalf of the Kraft Foods Company to listen to The Adventures of the Falcon. You met the Falcon first in his best-selling novels. Then you saw him in his thrilling motion picture series. Now join him on the air when the Falcon solves the case of the puzzling pinup. Miracle Whip.
Has a flavor so pleasing.
Miracle Whip.
Tastes so lively, so teasing.
Miracle Whip.
Only one of its kind.
Miracle Whip.
Best salad dressing you'll find.
Miracle Whip is the only one of its kind because it's a different type of salad dressing made from a secret Kraft recipe. Miracle Whip combines the best qualities of old-fashioned boiled dressing and fine mayonnaise, so it's truly distinctive and delicious, with a flavor millions of folks call just exactly right. Try it, won't you? One taste will tell you why it's America's favorite salad dressing, the one and only Miracle Whip. And now, the case of the puzzling pinup. It's Sunday afternoon in New York, and a young man named Charles Sylvester Braden II breaks all records dashing up the steps of a small rooming house in New York's West Side. And when he gets to the top floor, he begins hammering on the door of room 413.
Come on, Pat. Open up.
Who is it?
You know who it is. Now open up.
Go away, Charles.
No, you can't send me away like this. I've got to talk to you.
All right, just a second.
Lock it.
No, it's all right. Nobody will disturb us.
I said lock it.
Look, Charles, you're not well.
Don't you believe it for a second. Don't you see, Pat, it was just a scheme to keep us apart. But I fooled them.
Charles, please don't lock that door.
What's the matter, Pat? Don't you trust me either?
Of course I do. It's just that I don't like to see you so upset. Look, I've got an idea.
What are you doing with that phone?
I was just going to call your father.
Put it down.
But, Charles...
Put it down. So you're working with them, too?
No, I'm not.
Then prove it. Marry me.
You're insane.
What did you say?
Nothing, Charles.
You're lying. You were going to say I was insane.
I wasn't, I swear.
I'll give you one last chance. I've got a car downstairs. Will you come with me?
Look, Charles.
Answer me.
But, darling...
All right, Pat. You had your opportunity.
What are you doing with that gun?
I gave you your chance, Pat. You'll have to admit that.
Darling, now, listen to me. I've changed my mind.
How do I know that you won't change it again?
Charles, you can't do this. They'll hang you.
No, they won't. You see, I'll be dead.
No.
Yes, you don't think I'd let you go without me.
Charles, please.
Don't be afraid, Pat. I'll be right by your side. Goodbye, darling.
No. Oh.
I was down in the basement fixing the boiler when I heard the shots, Mr. Shelley. So right away, I got on the phone and called your newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else here in Driscoll?
Oh, no, wasn't nobody else home.
What about the cops?
Well, I ain't notified them yet, you know.
That was smart, Driscoll. I'll take care of you. All right, where do we go now?
It's this room here.
Okay, open the door. Well, what are you waiting for?
Your editor, Mr. Wingate, said you'd have a little present for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll give you 50 when we get inside.
But Mr. Wingate promised me 100.
Okay, here it is.
Oh, thanks.
Now, where's your pass key? Hey, shut that door. What's the girl's name?
Patricia Brooks.
You know the guy?
No.
Pull up the shade. I want to get a good look at his puss. Holy smoke.
What's the matter, Mr. Shelley?
Well, you know who this is? Charles Sylvester Braden II.
Who?
Skip it. Hand me some flashbulbs. They're in that case by your feet.
Oh, okay.
You know, something tells me these shots are going to be every bit as sensational as Mr. Braden's.
Tom?
Hi, Mr. Wingate.
Oh, hello, Shelley. I'm sorry that tip didn't pay off. The way the janitor spoke on the phone, I thought we had something.
Huh? What are you talking about, boss?
The yarn I sent you out on. Whole story just came over the ticker. Cops were just there. Too bad there was nothing to it.
Nothing to it. Do you realize...
Oh, look, Shelley. Maybe in the hick town you come from, a pretty girl committing suicide is big news. But in New York, it happens every day in the week.
Yeah, but what about...
Well, what about what?
Well, what did the cops find?
Well, the same thing you did. Dead girl named Pat Brooks holding a gun in her hand.
Nothing else?
What are you getting at? Should there have been anything else?
No, of course not.
Where are your pictures?
Pictures?
That's what I sent you there for, remember? Where are they?
They ain't. You see, I forgot to take along film.
You what?
I'm sorry, boss. I feel like an awful jerk.
Okay, forget it. At least there was no harm done. But it'll teach you to be more careful in the future.
Oh, yeah. I learned my lesson, Mr. Wingate. I bet I'll pick up plenty from an experience like this. We're in the money. We're in the money.
Yes?
I'd like to see Mr. Charles Braden Sr., please.
I'm afraid that's impossible. Mr. Braden's only son died yesterday in an automobile accident.
Yes, I know. I read all about it, but I still think he'll see me. Tell him it's Walter Shelley of the Gazette.
Who is it, Laura?
It's me, Braden. I'm the guy you spoke to on the phone this morning.
Yes. Won't you come in, sir?
Thanks.
This is the young man I've been telling you about, Laura.
Yes, so I gather.
Miss Allen is my secretary, Mr. Shelley.
Good enough.
Well, now, suppose we get down to business. You told me you had some pictures I might be interested in.
That's right.
May I see them, please?
Sure. Here they are.
Very interesting.
Like a drink, Mr. Shelley?
Well, thanks, dollface. Well, here's to what we all want.
I'll join you in that, sir.
Had time to look at those pictures yet, Mr. Braden?
Yes, indeed.
Notice anything peculiar about them?
I presume you mean that one of the bodies is that of my son, Charles.
Yeah, and he's holding a gun.
So?
So when I heard that the cops only found one stiff, I immediately jumped to the conclusion that you must have taken care of the other by bribing the janitor of the building.
But why should I do that?
Look, let's stop kidding each other, Braden. A guy with your name couldn't stand the disgrace. You wouldn't want to go through life known as the father of a murderer.
There's something in what you say, Mr. Shelley. How much do you want?
10 grand for the set of pictures you've got in your hand.
And how much for the negatives?
Negatives?
Oh, come. You mustn't take me for a child, Mr. Shelley. I'm aware of the elementals of photography. Now, where are those negatives?
Cut it out, Braden. You're choking.
Where are they?
Give me a chance.
All right.
Yeah, you could have killed me then.
The negatives, please.
Yeah, sure. Got them right here in my pocket.
Mr. Braden!
I'd advise you to put away that gun, sir.
You're not as smart as you think.
Apparently not.
Wouldn't I be a chump to keep those negatives on me? Oh, no. You're gonna pay for them, mister. And pay through the nose.
Hello?
I'd like to speak to Mike Waring, please.
Who's calling?
Walter Shelley.
Who?
Walter Shelley. I'm a reporter on the Gazette.
What can I do for you?
You mean, what can I do for you? I understand you're one of the best private dicks in New York.
Where do you understand that from?
Oh, the usual reliable sources. Don't they call you the Falcon?
Only when they can't think of anything worse.
Look, will you be home for the next half hour?
Why?
Well, I'd like to come around and drop a fortune in your lap.
Why?
Well, let's just say it's only a few weeks before Christmas, and I like to play Santa Claus nice and early. I'll be seeing you, Waring.
This is Ed Hurley again, friends. I have a little suggestion for you ladies who wonder what you're going to do for some interesting menu ideas. And my suggestion is this. Just get a 2-pound loaf of Kraft smooth melting pasteurized processed cheese food, Velveta. You can melt Velveta for smooth, delicious cheese sauce that'll add extra goodness to vegetables or seafood or rice or just plain toast for a fine main dish. And it's such an easy sauce to make. All you do is melt a half-pound of Velveta in the top of your double boiler. Notice how smooth it melts without any lumps at all. Then slowly stir in a quarter of a cup of milk, season to your taste, and there you have it. A delicious cheese sauce with a wonderful, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. A flavor that everyone, the youngsters and Grandma included, will enjoy often. And it's a wholesome dish because Velveta is so rich in important food values from milk. So whether you melt Velveta for a swell cheese sauce or slice it thick for hearty sandwiches, you'll find Velveta is a mighty handy helper, Mother. Get a 2-pound loaf tomorrow, won't you? It's America's favorite cheese food, the one and only Velveta, made by Kraft. And now, back to the adventures of the Falcon. 15 minutes have passed since Walter Shelley called Mike Waring with a promise to drop a fortune in his lap. And now we find Mr. Shelley as good as his word.
Yes?
You Waring?
That's right.
I'm Walter Shelley.
Oh, you're ahead of schedule. Come on in.
Thanks.
You said something on the phone about dropping a fortune in my lap.
Uh-huh, and I never lied. Catch.
What's this?
Just what I promised. In that envelope are pictures worth $500,000.
What makes them so valuable?
The pose.
Oh.
You interested?
Go on.
This party will pay off plenty, Waring. I know I've already seen them. We've got all the angles covered.
We?
Got a partner. Of course, that means we'll have to split 3 ways, but it's worth it. Now, this partner of mine has a swell in, see? What we need is someone to handle the detail work. Tried another guy, but he couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm. What made you come to me with a swindle like this?
Well, look, you don't have to take that tone with me, Waring.
Oh, I don't? All right, now get up.
Hey, what's going on in here, Mr. Waring? I was cleaning the hall and I heard a fuss.
Oh, it's nothing serious, George. Will you get rid of this for me?
Huh?
There's character on the floor. Throw him out.
Oh. Come on, buddy. Get up. Come on, pal. I have... Mr. Waring.
Yeah?
I think there's something the matter with him.
I know. He ran into my fist.
No, I mean, I can't feel his heartbeat.
You what?
Yeah. I think you killed him.
Waring, let's have the truth now. And don't give me any more stuff about pictures, because we didn't find any.
You didn't?
No. Why'd you kill Shelley?
I tell you, I didn't kill him, Lieutenant.
You admit you slugged him.
Look, Webster, I may brag now and then, but I'm still no Joe Louis. What do the autopsy reports say?
Hasn't come in yet.
Well, what are they waiting for?
Hey, Lieutenant, open up, will you?
What do you want, Sergeant?
There's a Mr. Wingate to see Waring.
Wingate?
Well, tell him to beat it. Waring isn't having any visitors.
I've got a court order here, Lieutenant. Maybe you'd like to look at it.
Yeah. Let's see that. There you are. Seems to be all right. Open it up, Sergeant. You can have 5 minutes, no more.
It's fair enough. Hello, Waring.
Well, who are you?
Arthur Wingate.
Still means nothing.
I hold down the slot in the Evening Gazette. Shelley worked for me until he came to me this morning with an idea how he could make some easy dough.
Wait a minute. You must be the guy he told me he'd talk to before he came to see me.
That's right. I threw him out.
Well, what are you doing here?
Well, when the story came over the ticker, I thought there might be something I could do for you.
Why should you?
I want this story for my paper, exclusively. And I'm willing to pay for it.
Okay, Wingate. You got yourself a deal. Do you know what was on those pictures of Shelley's?
No.
Did he mention any names?
Not a one.
Well, it doesn't matter. Here are my keys. The superintendent of my building is a character named George Kennedy. Check with him and see what he did with the envelope, and bring it back to me.
Haven't the police got it?
No, the lieutenant told me they didn't find a thing. It may have been brushed aside in all the excitement.
Well, it doesn't sound like much to go on, but keep your fingers crossed, kiddo. I'll do what I can.
Okay, Waring, on your feet.
Oh, you back again, Lieutenant?
Yeah, get your things and get out.
How come I'm being released?
The autopsy on Shelley clears you.
What was it, heart attack?
No. Poison. You got it in the drink about 6 hours before it came to your place.
Well, tough luck, Lieutenant. I know how you must feel. Can I use your phone?
Sure. There's a payphone right over there.
Thanks, Webster. Maybe I can do as much for you sometime.
On Waring.
Yeah?
Don't use any slugs.
That you, George?
Oh, hi, Mr. Waring.
Say, is Mr. Wingate there?
Oh, sure. You want to talk to him?
No, I'll see him later. What did you do with the pictures?
We didn't find him.
Well, they can't have disappeared. They were on my desk before I slugged Shelley.
We ain't there now. We've practically taken the place apart.
All right, stop wrecking the joint. I'll be right over.
That's no use, Mike. We've looked in the desk already.
Yeah, he's right, Mr. Waring. We went over everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Well, I don't get it. Now, George, you're sure when the police removed Shelley's body, they didn't take anything?
I'm positive. I was here every minute of the time.
Yeah, we might as well give up, Mike.
No, wait a second, Wingate. Shelley was standing right where you are when he tossed that envelope in my lap. When I got up to throw him out, it must have fallen to the floor.
Well, I don't see what difference that makes.
Well, I could have kicked it over there, and then that... Hey, wait a minute. What's that under the radiator?
Well,
whatever you are, George, you're certainly no detective.
Is that the envelope?
Must be.
Well, let's get a glimpse of $500,000 worth of pictures.
Huh. We was robbed.
What's the trouble?
Oh, well, look. It's a picture of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Brooklyn Dodgers?
Yeah, now you tell me who would pay $500,000 for a still shot of that group when you could go see them in action for $1.25.
You hear that, Mike? 3 a.m.
I don't care. I'm not leaving until I make head or tail of these pictures. What makes them worth all that money, Wingate?
Shelley must have been crazy.
Well, then why was he murdered? Come in.
I hate to disturb you, gentlemen, but I'm looking for Mike Waring.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Are you Mr. Waring?
Uh-huh. What's your name?
My friends call me Laura Allen.
Well, I bet you got a million of them, Angel. So I can't understand why you should be looking for new ones at this hour.
I'm looking for something else, Mr. Waring. What do you want for them?
What do I want for what?
The pictures.
What pictures?
Don't give me that. Shelley had them before he died. He hasn't got them now, so who does that leave?
Me?
Yes. What's your price?
I suppose I said I didn't care to do business.
It won't do you any good. If you see what I mean.
Mike.
Don't worry, Wingate. I saw it. Take a blind man to miss a cannon that size. Look, would you mind pointing it elsewhere, Laura?
What's the matter, Mr. Waring? Does it make you nervous?
Yeah, I don't know what's come over me these past few days, but I can't seem to keep a thing on my stomach, particularly guns.
You let go.
Come on, Angel, drop it.
Oh.
That's... Get it, Wingate.
Okay, it's got.
Well, now what are you going to do with me?
Nothing. You can leave whenever you like, Angel.
You mean you're letting me go?
Yeah, sure, I'm a sport. I always throw the little ones back.
Just what are you fishing for, Mr. Waring?
The big one.
Well, I wouldn't if I were you. You know, some big fish are dangerous. And take it from me, this one's a man killer. Good night, Angel.
Shouldn't let her get away, Mike.
Why not? That little lady wasn't going to tell us anything, except what she wanted to.
Yeah, but remember what Shelley said about a partner.
You think that girl...
Well, don't you?
You know something, Wingate? You're right.
Well?
Yeah, she's already gone down the elevator.
Hello, Laura.
Mr. Braden.
That's right.
What What are you doing in my apartment?
My dear girl, I think the answer's fairly obvious. I was waiting for you.
And I told you that if I had anything to report, I'd let you know.
Well, you can hardly blame me for being anxious, Laura. Now, where are the pictures?
I didn't get them.
You know, my dear, I find that very difficult to believe. You're such a very determined young lady.
Well, I ran into a very determined young man.
And yet Mr. Waring let you get away, hmm?
Yes, and don't ask me why, because I don't know.
You must be tired, my dear.
You're quite right, Mr. Braden. I am tired. I'm tired of trying to protect your precious name. Why don't you pay off and let it go at that?
I don't like to hear you talk that way, Laura. But knowing you as I do, I'm sure you'll never let this little conversation go any farther. Hello?
Is that you, Waring?
Uh-huh.
This is Laura.
Who?
Laura Allen, you remember?
Oh, sure.
Now listen, Waring, there's something I've got to tell you.
Where do you live?
At the Rainey Apartments. But before you come, I want you to know that I killed Walter Shelley.
Oh, you admit it?
Well, if you want to be convinced... Oh!
Hello, Laura. Laura! And that's all I know, Wingate. Right after I heard the shot, I grabbed a cab and started over here. Then I remembered my promise to you, so I detoured over to your office to pick you up.
I appreciate it, Waring. Hey, what floor do we get off on?
Right here, the third.
Oh, okay. It must be down this way.
Here it is. Laura Allen. Uh-oh.
Unlocked?
Yeah.
So, she did commit suicide after all.
It seems so. Hey, what do you make of this?
Silver cigarette case.
Silver nothing. This is platinum.
Huh?
Yeah, they don't hand these out on push carts. And here, look at the engraving.
Can you make it out?
Yeah, to Laura Allen from the tyrant Charles Braden Sr.
Charles Braden Sr.? Hey, this girl moved in the big leagues.
That's so right. And if she was in Braden's employ, then he's the boy who's interested in the pictures, and she was working hand in glove with Shelley.
Yeah, but why would Braden want a picture of the Brooklyn Dodgers?
He didn't. The pictures we found must have been phony. Say, wait a minute. Wasn't his son in some sort of a mess recently?
Well, he got killed in an automobile accident.
No, that's too pat. Braden's hiding something.
Who are you calling?
The police.
Well, make it snappy. I want to phone my paper.
Hey, wait a minute.
What's the trouble?
I just thought of something. I heard the shot that killed Laura over the phone.
So?
Well, if she died instantly, who hung this receiver back on the hook?
Yeah, but that means...
Yeah, go on. Say it, Wingate. She was murdered.
But you said she talked to suicide.
Someone could have forced her to by holding a gun in her back.
Who?
That's what I intend to find out. Now, look, I want you to get a fingerprint expert up here.
What for?
The killer made one blunder when he put the receiver back on the hook. Isn't it possible he made another?
I don't follow you.
Maybe he left his prints on the instrument. You got any idea where we can find an expert at this time of night?
Well, you got one down in the paper.
Swell. Get him, Wingate.
Where'll I meet you later?
Make it Mr. Braden's. Something tells me he'll probably be very interested in the results. Mr. Braden?
Yes.
My name is Waring.
Oh, come in, won't you?
Thank you.
You were a friend of Walter Shelley's, I believe.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Strange that he entrusted his most precious possessions to you.
I don't think I understand you, Mr. Braden.
I'm referring to the pictures, Mr. Waring.
Oh, that.
Yes, that. May I trouble you for them? And the negatives, of course.
What's in it for me?
Well, I could promise you any number of things.
Yes, but they'd be just that, promises.
You see my point.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to draw me a diagram.
No. I had only to draw a gun.
All right, put that thing away, Braden. You're forgetting something.
I can't imagine what.
What's going to happen when the police discover you killed Shelley and Laura?
Shelley and Laura? Well, I hardly think there's any danger of that.
Well, maybe I can prove you're wrong.
I beg your pardon?
I think that call is for me, may I?
Certainly. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello? Is that you, Mike?
Yeah, how'd you make out, Wingate? Did they finish checking those fingerprints?
Yes, but there wasn't a single print on it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
What's the matter with you, Mike? Can't you hear me?
Didn't miss a word. Now come up here and bring that report with you.
You look pleased.
Yes, I am. Whose fingerprints do you suppose they found on Laura's telephone?
Nobody's.
What?
You'll forgive me, sir, but I'm afraid I've been guilty of eavesdropping.
Oh, you'll never hear anything nice about yourself that way.
Perhaps not. But then, Mr. Waring, I'm not a very nice person. I think you're going to find that out.
Remember, tomorrow at your grocer's, you can get a wonderful new salad oil for your homemade salad dressings, your cooking, your baking. It's Kraft Salad Oil, the first salad oil for home use ever offered by the makers of all those wonderful Kraft dressings. Kraft Salad Oil is a lighter-bodied oil, superfine to blend perfectly with other ingredients. Get a pint or quart bottle tomorrow at your grocer's. Ask for Kraft Salad Oil. Now, back to the adventures of the Falcon. 2 minutes ago, Charles Brayton Sr. told Mike that he wasn't, quote, a very nice person, unquote. And judging by the gun he keeps trained on Mike, Mr. Brayton believes in telling the truth.
Oh, really, Mr. Waring, you don't know how this pains me.
Well, I'd never guess it, Brayton. You certainly hide your grief well.
And you, sir, your fears.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. I don't believe you're going to shoot.
Tell me, Mr. Waring, what is your purpose in glancing at that window every 5 seconds? Frankly, I find it very distracting.
That was my purpose. All right, Wingate, grab him. Nice work, Wingate. Now give me the gun.
Okay, here you are.
Now phone police headquarters.
No. My paper comes first.
Well, any way you like, but don't forget the cops.
I don't suppose there'd be much point in appealing to your better nature.
Oh, I don't know. What do you think, Wingate?
No, I'm just an innocent bystander, Waring. You better leave me out of this.
Oh, that's impossible, friend. You've got a lot to say.
Oh, you mean because I saved your life?
No, because you killed Shelley and Laura.
What are you babbling about?
Murder, Wingate. I'm just wondering who's going to cover your execution for the Gazette.
Gee, I don't get it, Mr. Waring. You mean Mr. Wingate actually killed Shelley and the girl?
Yes, actually, George.
Yeah, but why?
Those pictures.
The ones we found in your apartment.
No. The ones the police found in Wingate's apartment. He got them from my place before he even called you. Then he planted those phony shots and waited for me to make my great discovery.
Yeah, well, why did he do that?
Because he knew I wouldn't stop looking until I found a set of pictures. So he made things easy for me.
Well, I still don't understand why he killed Shelley.
He was Shelley's partner.
Wingate?
Mm-hmm. He was in from page 1, but he got greedy and wanted the whole pie. So he poisoned Shelley and waited for the pictures to drop in his lap.
And instead, they dropped in yours.
Well, that he couldn't figure on. But he did okay as it was.
Well, why did he kill Laura?
Oh, he had good reason for that. First, he forced her to confess to Shelley's murder.
Oh, he thought that would leave him in the clear, huh?
Mm-hmm. If she committed suicide, then the case was closed, and he could go ahead and blackmail Brayden safely.
Well, how did you know he was the killer?
Remember I told you I sent him to check the fingerprints on Laura Allen's phone?
Yeah, and he said there weren't any.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what gave him away.
Well, I don't see why. Ain't it possible the killer wiped off his own prints?
Yeah, sure. But what happened to mine? I handled the phone after the murder when I was going to call the police.
Oh.
Now, does that answer all your questions?
Well, all but one.
What's that?
Look, Mr. Waring, what was on those pictures anyway, huh?
Ah, you'll never know, George.
Oh, come on. Break down, Mr. Waring. Must have been pretty hot stuff, huh?
Oh, yes, indeed, they were. Some of the hottest shots I'd ever seen. Why, just to handle them would blister your hands.
Yeah? What were they, huh?
Well, they were 8 by 10 blow-ups of the Chicago fire. Good night, George.
There comes a time in the life of every homemaker when she has to fix a dinner fast, and that's when Kraft Dinner is such a help. You see, in just 7 minutes cooking time, Kraft Dinner makes delicious macaroni and cheese. Wonderful, tender macaroni with fine cheese flavor all through, just like I said, in only 7 minutes cooking time. That's because every package of Kraft Dinner gives you a special quick-cooking macaroni and just the right amount of Kraft grated for that grand cheese flavor. So tomorrow, get a couple of packages of Kraft Dinner.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Kraft Foods Company brings you The Adventures of the Falcon, starring Les Damon.
Hello? Yes, this is the Falcon speaking. Oh, Cornelia. I'm glad you called, but I'll have to take a rain check, Angel. Tonight I'm tied up with a character who tried to pull off a legal swindle. He found a loophole in the law, but we found a bullet hole in him.
This is Ed Hurley, friends, inviting you on behalf of the Kraft Foods Company to listen to The Adventures of the Falcon. You met the Falcon first in his best-selling novels. Then you saw him in his thrilling motion picture series. Now join him on the air when the Falcon solves the case of the Stooges' errand. Sunday afternoon and time for another thrilling adventure of the Falcon. But first, a word about another kind of adventure, an adventure in flavor. For right now at your grocer's, there's a wonderful new salad oil for use in your homemade salad dressings, your cooking, your baking. It's Kraft Salad Oil, the first salad oil ever offered for your home use by the makers of all those wonderful Kraft prepared dressings. Now, Kraft Salad Oil is more than just a new oil. It's a new kind of oil, a lighter-bodied oil to mix quickly and perfectly with all other ingredients. That's because it's not just refined. It's superfined by a special process created by Kraft. Yes, superfined to put new magic into the salad dressings you make yourself, into those wonderful chiffon cakes you pride yourself on, into every home recipe that calls for liquid shortening. Don't wait to get acquainted with Kraft Salad Oil. Look for the bottle with the beautiful label tomorrow at your grocer's. Get Kraft Salad Oil. And now, the case of the Stooges' errand. It's Sunday afternoon in New York, and tall, slender Rog Saunders has just come out of his apartment building, accompanied by his squat, cigar-chewing companion, chauffeur, bodyguard, and canasta partner, Jocko Quinn. As they approach Saunders' new foreign-made racing job, they see a man walking around the car, studying it appreciatively.
Hey, boss, Macy.
So I see, Jocko. So I see. Well, Macy, like it?
Oh, hello, boys. Yeah, Saunders. Beautiful automobile. Wish I could afford one like it, especially if I already had two other cars.
What's on your mind, Macy? What are you doing here?
You know the answer to both those questions, Saunders.
It couldn't be money by any chance.
On the nose. A genius. Not that I like to be mercenary, you understand, but if my money is going to be buying in fancy automobiles, it ought to be buying them for me.
You know I don't like to be dunned.
Dunned, he says. Look, pal, you borrowed the insignificant sum of only 20,000 berries from yours truly, a mere nothing. And it was only 8 months ago, practically yesterday, and you were going to pay me back in 3 weeks. You're only 7 months late. Done.
You'll get your money.
I've heard that song before. I used to believe it. But you've been living high. When I hear you bought yourself another jalopy, imported yet, I figure this rate's a look-see and conversation about my Mazuma.
Shall I hand him the old scramble,
Let
boss?
go of
No,
me.
Jocko, no. He's entitled to his money. He wants to be small about it.
Small, he says. 8 months.
You're worried because I'm a little fast with a buck. You think I'm tossing the roll.
Look, I didn't ask you any questions when you needed the dough. I figured you were a pal. You said you were going to make some investments, okay. But now, what do you expect me to think?
I have made investments, Macy. I have. Very good investments. All I'm blowing is the velvet. Now, tell me something. You know fighters. What do you think of Pepper Dugan?
Good punch. I don't know how he is on distance. He seemed to tire the last time I...
Tire? Coaster, that's all. Had the decision wrapped up with the ace, so he took 9 and 10 easy.
You know all about it?
I ought to. I own the controlling interest in Dugan.
Oh?
That's where your 20 is, Macy. That's what Dugan cost me 8 months ago, 20 grand. And since then, he's won 3 fights. Big ones. He's worth double the 20 now, at least.
Yeah, could be. So you've seen a profit. Now let me see my 20.
I'll do better, Macy. I'll give you your choice. Cash or what you lent me, plus a 5 for Dugan.
How's that?
I'm offering you Dugan's contract for the 20 I owe you, plus 5 grand more. That's all I'm asking. A profit of 5 G's. You said yourself Dugan is worth plenty, over 25 now.
Yeah, but then why should
you... did me a favor. I'm doing you one, that's all.
I don't know.
Well, it's up to you. Take it or leave it. You want cash, I'll pay you cash. You want Dugan? Just give me back my notes and a check for the balance.
I'll think it over.
You do that, Macy. You just do that.
That's it, Dugan. Now throw your right. No, doggone it, the right. Harry, you throw a right. This time, Dugan, when he does, counter with your right. Now, Harry. No, Dugan. All right, boys, hold it. Will you hold it? Come here, Dugan.
Sorry, Mr. Mason.
What's the matter with you? Harry comes through with his right and you just stand there.
It's his hand. It's hurting again.
What hand?
My right hand. Didn't Mr. Saunders tell you?
Tell me what?
Why, I busted my hand in the 8th of the Gasha fight,
So that's why you slowed down.
Sure. It's a bad break. Doc doesn't know if it'll ever heal right.
And Saunders was doing me a favor, unloading you. Oh, that's just great, that is.
Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Macy. You think Mr. Saunders gypped you intentionally?
Are you kidding?
I don't know. I always trusted him. He talks so honest.
Sure, he's got a great line.
I don't believe he's a crook. He was always good to me.
He gave you the heave-ho as soon as you slipped a cog, didn't he?
He told me he was getting out of the fight game.
Because you busted your mitt.
Could be, but I hope you're wrong, Mr. Macy. I sure hope you're wrong.
Look, kid, I hate to destroy your faith in mankind.
It's not my faith I'm worried about, Mr. Macy. It's my 15 grand.
Your what?
Mr. Saunders held back part of my cut of the gates in the last couple of fights. Said he was going to invest it for me.
Oh, fine.
Mr. Macy.
Yeah, Dugan?
That lawyer you're going to see, do you figure he could take on an extra client?
Hello?
Hello, does Michael Waring live here?
I do.
Oh, you're, My name's Ralph Macy. I need a detective. My lawyer suggested you.
Well, what's your lawyer's name?
George Hollis. What?
Well, if it's a good case, he rates a box of cigars come Christmas.
I just want you to find a man for me.
What did he take, your money or your woman?
How do you know it's either?
Usually is, especially with a lawyer involved.
He gypped me out of $25,000 and another fellow out of 15.
Oh, gypped and skipped, huh?
That's right. And my lawyer tried to reach Saunders. That's the fellow, Rod Saunders. Tried to reach him at his hotel, but he's gone. No forwarding address, just a back bill for over 2 months.
He doesn't miss a trick.
You find him for me?
At $50 a day in expenses, I'll try.
They say the Falcon never fails.
Who says?
Well, do you?
Well, let's just say I never admit failure. All right, Macy, what can you tell me about Saunders?
Yes?
Are you Ivy Gray?
That's right.
Well, they told me Saunders has expensive taste. I see what they mean.
What are you talking about?
You and Roger Saunders. I understand you were good friends.
Were. We still are.
Oh. Well, then maybe you can tell me where to find him.
Maybe I can. What do you want to see him about?
About 10 minutes.
What is it, Ivy? Someone for me?
Yes. He didn't give his name.
Oh, no. Don't tell me you're Saunders.
Why not? Isn't that who you wanted?
But it's too simple. I've just started looking.
Looking? For what?
For you. In the first place, I tried.
Who are you? Why are you looking for me?
My name's Mike Waring. Ralph Macy hired me to locate you.
Hired you? You a detective?
Mm-hmm.
Now, wait a minute. Waring. You're not the Falcon.
Well, my mistake. I thought I was.
Macy could have saved himself the trouble and expense of hiring you, Waring. Why didn't he call Ivy himself?
Probably didn't think she'd talk. He thought you were hiding.
Why should I hide?
Well, you did check out of your hotel suddenly.
To prevent their throwing me out. I was what is known as in arrears. But I'm not hiding.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I've moved to the Grafton Apartments. Macy can find me there if he likes, but just what does he want?
His money back. He says you gypped him.
What? I did him a favor.
Well, he doesn't see it that way.
Well, if he wants money, he'll have to get in line.
Yeah, so I gather.
And you might tell him the line's not going anywhere.
What's that?
Can't collect what I don't have.
Well, you have 3 cars. A summer estate in Maine, 50 suits of clothes.
Who's been taking inventory?
Macy's lawyer.
Oh. Well, tell him to look a little closer, and he'll find none of it belongs to me. It's all in Jocko's name.
Who's Jocko?
Jocko Quinn, friend of mine. And Jocko owes nobody. So you see, Waring, I'm not in hiding. Nobody can touch me legally because I have nothing to touch.
Yes, I see, Saunders. But when your creditors hear about it, I have an idea they're liable to touch you. And in a way you won't like.
Come in. That you, Dugan?
Yeah, Mr. Macy, I just come from the doctor.
I hope he had good news for you. You'll need it.
Huh?
I got a report from Waring. He located Saunders.
Oh, good.
Good, he says. Saunders has pulled a legal cutie. Handed all his marbles to Jocko.
I don't get you.
You don't get anything, pal. Neither do I. It's hocus pocus with our greenbacks. There's nothing we can do.
Wait a minute. Take it slow, will you?
Look, it goes like this. Saunders has turned all his cash into merchandise. Clothes, cars, houses, whatnot. And he mortgages the whole package to Jocko.
I still don't get it.
The stuff is in Jocko's name. Legally, we can't touch it. But Jocko is just Saunders' stooge. So Saunders has full use of the whole works, and we're out in the cold.
Can he do a thing like that?
He's done it.
That's just great. That's all I need. You know what the doc said?
Your hand still isn't right.
I can't fight for at least a year.
Oh,
That's
no.
what he said. That means no dough coming in. Now I gotta collect from Saunders. That's all I gotta.
So do I, but the question is
If
how.
that lawyer of yours is no help, I'll just have to help myself. If I could only get Saunders sometime when Jocko isn't around. After all, I still got one good hand.
Yeah, Dugan. You've also got a very good point there. I hope something comes of it.
Miracle Whip has a flavor so pleasing.
Miracle Whip.
Tastes so lively, so teasing.
Miracle Whip.
Only one of its kind.
Miracle Whip.
Best salad dressing you'll find.
Miracle Whip is the only one of its kind because it's different, a different type of salad dressing made from a secret craft recipe. Miracle Whip combines the best qualities of boiled dressing and old-fashioned mayonnaise, so it's truly distinctive and delicious, with a flavor millions of folks call just exactly right. Try it, won't you? One taste will tell you why it's America's favorite salad dressing, the one and only Miracle Whip. And now, back to the adventures of the Falcon. A few days have passed since Macy and Dugan decided they weren't going to get a legal technicality to stand between them and collecting the money Rog Saunders owed them. They're also not going to let Saunders' stooge, Jocko Quinn, stand between them and the money. But Jocko knows none of this as he enters Saunders' apartment, where he's met by a white-faced Ivy Gray.
Jocko, where have you been?
Just down to get some cigarettes from Mr. Saunders. Why?
Was anyone with him when you left?
No.
Was he expecting anyone?
Only you?
You're sure?
What is this? Where is Saunders? Why doesn't he...
He's in the other room.
Well, why the questions?
Look for yourself.
Huh?
Go ahead. Right in there.
Okay. Mr. Saunders, I'm back. Hey, what's the matter with him?
He's dead. That's what's the matter with him.
Hello?
Is that the Falcon?
Yes, this is the Falcon speaking.
Macy again, Waring.
Oh, have you lost Saunders again?
In a way.
Oh, I thought last time was a little too easy to be true.
I know where he is, Waring. It's not that.
Oh, well, keep it up. You're making great sense.
He's dead.
Oh. Well, couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Murdered.
Am I supposed to register surprise or sympathy?
Sympathy.
For a guy who gypped his friends?
For me, the police think I did it.
Well, did you?
No.
Why not?
I've been told it's against the law.
Oh, and you never break the law.
Well, I parked overtime once, but I paid my fine.
Okay, you're a model citizen. What do you want me to do about it?
Convince the police.
It'll take more than a character reference.
That's why I'm calling on you. You can find the real killer.
Can I?
The Falcon never fails.
You dreamer, you.
This is one dream that better come true, Waring. All that depends on it is my life.
Hello, Sergeant Corbett.
Well, goody. It's Mike Waring. Did you come down to headquarters to see your client, Waring?
No, of course not, Corbett. I came down to see you.
He loves me.
To know you is to love you.
How did we get into this? What do you want, Waring?
What have you got on the Saunders killing?
He's dead.
Well, thanks so much.
His girl found the body.
Ivy Gray?
Yeah.
What's this? List of things you found on the body?
Yeah, just the usual.
Handkerchief, key, package of cigarettes, matches, coins. Any fingerprints in the apartment?
His own, the girl's, and Jocko Quinn's, guy who works for him.
So right away you suspect Macy?
Macy had a beef. Claims Saunders gypped him.
If you suspect everyone whom Saunders gypped...
We do.
Then Macy doesn't head the list?
No.
You brought him down here?
Just for questioning, we let him go.
Oh, that's too bad.
Why?
Since he's my client, I'd like to feel sure he's innocent. And nothing could give me greater confidence along that line than your thinking he's guilty. How's it going, Dugan?
Do I know you?
I know you. I've seen you in the ring.
Oh.
This what you train on? Irish, straight?
Are you going to give me a temperance lecture?
No, it's a little out of my line.
Then go away.
Macy tells me Saunders owed you 15 grand. Says you were sore when it looked like you might not get it back.
Oh, Macy says, does he? Macy says. I tell you, he talks too much. I'll fix Macy so he doesn't talk so much.
Like you fixed Saunders?
Huh? Oh, wise guy, huh? Maybe you want something too.
No.
Oh.
You don't do so good with a busted mitt and a stomach full of fog juice, Dugan. Come on, I'll help you up.
Oh, my head.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, my head. Huh?
What's this in your pocket?
What do you mean?
I think I'd better keep this until you come out of dreamland.
Hey, give me that,
You've had too many shots of alcohol to risk letting you take any shots with a gun. Now, come on your feet.
Hello?
Hello, Macy. This is Mike Waring.
Oh, yes, Waring. How's it going?
I don't know yet. I've just seen your boy, Dugan, loaded to the gills and packing a rod.
Uh-oh.
You can say that again. He was planning to go gunning for you.
For me? Why?
Well, that was my fault. I tried to get him steamed up to see what he'd say.
And now he wants to feed me lead, hmm?
Yeah, but I've got his cannon.
Oh?
But I thought I ought to warn you anyway, because he might dig up another one.
Thanks, Waring, but I can take care of myself.
Yeah, sure you can, Macy. The question is, can you take care of Dugan?
Oh, hello, Mr. Waring.
Now, why don't you call me Mike?
I hardly know you.
Well, let me in. We'll go to work on that.
Please, Mr. Waring, Roger's death was quite a shock.
Well, then why not help me find out who done it?
What difference does it make now?
A lot of difference. To the murderer.
Well, I'm afraid I can't be much help.
You found the body.
I'd like to forget that.
Were you in love with Saunders?
I liked him.
Because he was a good spender?
Partly.
Of other people's money?
I don't know. I didn't ask where he got it.
I do know.
Look, if you're going to make insulting remarks...
Facts.
Goodbye, Mr. Waring.
Just a minute, Ivy. Where was Jocko Quinn when Saunders was killed?
Roger sent him out to get some cigarettes. Now, will you please go?
If you'll answer just two more questions.
Sorry.
I wear 11 E's. You can't possibly close the door.
What are the questions?
Was Saunders absent-minded?
What? No, of course not.
Was he a heavy smoker?
Not especially. And that's two questions.
You're right you are, Angel. So long. Pardon me, you Jocko Quinn?
Yeah.
Good. I heard that you eat in this bean wagon. In fact, I've heard quite a lot about you, Jocko. It's time we met.
Who are you? What do you want?
My name's Mike Waring.
Oh? I've heard about you, too, Falcon.
Well, then we ought to get along fine.
You having dinner?
No, just looking for you.
Well, I'm finished. Here, sister, keep the change.
Thanks.
Oh, come on, Waring, if you want to talk to me.
Sure.
Now, what do you want?
Information about Saunders' murder.
I don't know nothing.
No. Don't be so modest, Jocko.
I wasn't there.
Where were you?
Saunders sent me out for cigarettes.
You're lying, Jocko.
What?
I said you're lying, and I can prove it.
Yeah?
Yeah, Saunders had a pack of cigarettes on him when he was murdered. He wasn't a heavy smoker, so he wouldn't have sent you out to get him some. So, Jocko, what do you got to say to that?
What have I got to say? Just this?
No, you don't.
Dugan, you showed up in the nick of time. Thanks for knocking out Waring. You saved me the trouble.
I've been looking for you, Jocko.
Seems everybody's looking for me.
Yeah. Now that I've taken care of Waring, it's your turn. Come here, Jocko.
Hello, Corbett.
Welcome to headquarters again, Ware. Well, look at you. Who stepped on your face?
That's what I'd like to know.
You mean you got your jaw pushed out of shape like that and you don't know how it happened?
That's right.
Well, that's what comes of hitting the bottle.
It feels more like the bottle hit me. But at least I solved the case for you.
Oh, you solved it.
Mm-hmm. I know who killed Saunders.
Are you going to tell me, or do I guess?
Well, let's not wait for miracles. I'll tell you.
Don't do me any favors.
No favor. I have an account to square with Jocko.
Jocko, is he the murderer?
He is.
You don't say.
I do say.
And you have an account to settle with him?
He's responsible for this lump on my jaw.
Thought you didn't know how you got that.
I don't, not the details. All I know, we were fighting, and all of a sudden it's lights, bells, and curtains. But so help me, I'll swear he didn't throw a punch when it happened. My eyes aren't that bad.
He just blew the man down.
I don't know. But I'm going to find out as soon as you pick up Jocko, so get to work on it.
I anticipate your every wish. We've already picked up Jocko. Now all we got to do is put them together again.
What?
Let's go down to the hospital, and you can see for yourself.
Hospital?
That's right, Waring. He was unconscious, but maybe he can talk now. You know, for a couple of boys who didn't throw many punches, you fellas sure did a lot of damage. Hello, Jocko. Visitors.
Hello, Sergeant.
You know Waring, Jocko?
Yeah, we met.
Yeah, head on.
But I want to know, Jocko, what hit me?
Dugan, with his sap.
Oh.
Dugan?
Yeah, Sergeant. He come up while we was fighting. He wanted to get Waring out of the way so he could go to work on me.
What's he want to do that for?
He said he was collecting for himself and Macy. He couldn't collect from Saunders no more, so he was going to collect from me.
Yeah, with a blackjack.
Yeah. He got me in his car, tried to get me to sign a paper, and when I said no, he started swinging.
Well, I can see why you didn't want to sign away your stuff after you'd killed a man for it.
I didn't kill Saunders, Waring. He always treated me good. Why did I want to kill him?
For all the stuff he put in your name. With Saunders dead, you stand to keep it.
But I didn't kill him.
And how about that lie about the cigarettes?
Okay, so I lied. That don't make me a killer.
Well, why'd you lie?
Because I didn't go out for cigarettes. I went down to Louis' cigar stand to place a buck. I played the numbers with Louis, only I didn't want Mr. Saunders to know because he didn't like me to play. I didn't want to make trouble for Louis, so I tried to keep him out of it. That's all. It's a joke, Sergeant.
I'm not laughing at you, Jocko, but look at Mastermind here. He had the case all solved. There was just one little thing wrong with his figuring. It gave him the wrong answer.
This is Ed Hurley again, friends. I do want to tell you something I'm sure you mothers especially will want to know. It's how to get the finest cheese food you can buy for your family. It's simple, really. Just be sure you buy Velveta, Kraft's delicious pasteurized processed cheese food. Velveta tastes good, and it's so good for you, too. For Velveta is rich in important food values from milk, and it's as digestible as milk itself. So it's perfect anytime for snacks, sandwiches, and grand hot dishes. Try it, won't you, Mother? Make Velveta your handy helper. Just be sure you get genuine Velveta, the pasteurized processed cheese food of top quality, made by Kraft.
Now, back to the adventures of the Falcon. Only an hour has passed since Mike Waring found that a private detective's lot is not always a happy one. Now the Falcon has arrived at Ivy Gray's apartment, still in search of the elusive solution to the case.
Mr. Waring, will you please go away and stop bothering me?
Sure, as soon as you tell me just exactly what happened up at Saunders' place.
I did.
I missed some of the details.
I told you I want to forget.
All right, so let's get the facts straight before you do. You found the body?
Yes.
It was in the back room of the apartment?
Yes.
How did you get in?
The door was open.
After you found the body, what did you do?
Started to leave, to call the police. At the door to the apartment, I met Jocko Quinn. He said Roger'd sent him for cigarettes.
Did you tell him about the murder?
No, not right away. I started asking questions. When he wanted to know why, I showed him the body.
And then?
Then I got out of there. Now, is that all?
Just one more question.
What is it?
What are you doing tonight, Angel?
Homicide, Sergeant Corbett speaking.
Mike Waring's out here, Sergeant.
He's out there? Well, send him in. I want him to see this.
Yes, sir.
All right, Macy, sit down next to Dugan. You on the other side of him, Jocko.
Okay. Just what is this, Sergeant?
I'm going to prove a couple of points, but we'll wait until Waring gets in here. He's right outside.
Prove, he says. You don't have anything on us.
We'll see. All right, Waring, come right on in.
What are you so all-fired cheerful about, jolly boy?
What's the matter, Waring? Still sore that you pulled the boner?
I haven't tossed in the towel yet. Hello, Macy.
Hello, Waring.
And Jocko, what are you doing out of bed?
He's going to wrap this case right around your boy's neck, Waring.
Yeah?
Sure. Dugan told him he was collecting for himself and Macy. That means they were working together. And the beat-up of Jocko was part of a plan.
Plan? This is the first I heard of it.
That's right, Sergeant. Mr. Macy didn't know.
Yeah, well, you told me.
didn't tell you
Even if
about
we
any
did have
plan.
a
I was
plan,
just
it was
trying to get
Shut
out.
up, Paulie. Shut up.
Corbett, must we go through all this rigmarole?
You shut up, too, Waring. We tried your way. Now it's my turn.
I like my way better.
Except it doesn't work.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, you got the case solved again?
No, not again. Still.
Huh?
I said Jocko killed Saunders. He did, and this time he's not squirming out of it.
See, Waring, I told you.
Did you, Macy?
Sure, the Falcon never fails.
I'll tell that to Sergeant Corbett. For a while, he thought the Falcon had laid a great big egg.
How'd you finally clinch it?
Well, when Jocko ran into Ivy in Saunders' apartment, he told us Saunders to send him out for cigarettes. But I proved that was a lie.
Yeah, but he explained that.
Mm-hmm. But how come he thought he could get away with that lie?
What do you mean?
Well, since Saunders didn't send Jocko out for cigarettes, Saunders would naturally trip him up on it.
But Saunders was dead.
Sure. Only how did Jocko know? Supposedly, he didn't learn of the murder until after the lie.
Oh.
Yes, if he'd been innocent, he'd have thought Saunders was alive in the apartment, and he wouldn't tell an obvious lie involving Saunders right under his nose. Therefore, he knew Saunders was dead. Therefore...
All right, Waring. I get it.
Oh, good. That's all there is to it.
You're pretty sharp, Waring. Pretty sharp.
Yeah, maybe. But there's one angle to this case even I don't get, Macy.
What's that?
I asked Ivy for a date tonight. And if the Falcon never fails, how come I'm spending the evening with you, huh?
Friends, America's defense program has placed on the Red Cross one of the greatest responsibilities it has ever had to assume. Now, in addition to day-to-day aid to the sick and injured, the Red Cross must extend its services to the men of our growing armed forces in camps and hospitals, at home and overseas. Now, too, the Red Cross must recruit, train, and equip millions of home defense volunteers in first aid and home nursing. And the Red Cross system of blood banks must be expanded to meet greater civilian and military needs. That's why Red Cross needs your help. By giving as generously as you can to the Red Cross, you are helping to mobilize for the defense of your family, your community, your country.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Kraft Foods Company brings you The Adventures of the Falcon, starring Les Damon.
Hello? Yes, this is the Falcon speaking. Oh, Lila. I'm glad you called. You'll have to count me out tonight, Angel. I have to see a client who's going to make my fortune. Mm-hmm. This boy's a big shot, and he's going to show me how to make a killing.
This is Ed Hurley, friends, inviting you on behalf of the Kraft Foods Company to listen to The Adventures of the Falcon. You met the Falcon first in his best-selling novels. Then you saw him in his thrilling motion picture series. Now join him on the air when the Falcon solves The Case of the Harried Husband. Miracle Miracle Whip.
Has a flavor so pleasing.
Miracle Whip.
Tastes so lively, so teasing.
Miracle Whip.
Only one of its kind.
Miracle Whip.
Best salad dressing you'll find.
Miracle Whip is the only one of its kind because it's a different type of salad dressing made from a secret craft recipe. Miracle Whip combines the best qualities of old-fashioned boiled dressing and fine mayonnaise, so it's truly distinctive and delicious, with a flavor millions of folks call just exactly right. Try it, won't you? One taste will tell you why it's America's favorite salad dressing, the one and only Miracle Whip.
And now, the case of the harried husband. It is early Sunday evening in New York, and a handsome boy named Jeff Rogers nonchalantly walks down the fourth-floor corridor of the Hotel Maynard. It's obvious from Mr. Rogers' attitude he thinks he doesn't have a care in the world. But when he opens the door to his room, he learns differently.
Hello, Jeff.
What?
Don't be frightened, darling. It's only me.
How did you get in here, Rita?
I gave the desk clerk one of my prettiest smiles and $10.
Well, you had no business...
Of course not, Jeff. But you're a hard man to see these days.
Well, as a matter of fact...
You were just about to call me.
Word of honor.
Don't lie, honey. You do it very badly.
Oh, now look, Rita.
Oh, don't take on so, Jeff. On the other hand, there are things you do exceptionally well. Which reminds me, how's Mrs. Davis?
You mean Pat Davis?
Who else would I mean?
Oh, you know what that is.
I know what it better be.
Now, Rita, there's no reason for you to act like this.
Oh, sure, but then there's no reason for me to be nuts about you either. You're not the brightest guy in the world.
No.
And when it comes to looks, I've known prettier boys, too.
Still, you're crazy about me.
Heaven help me. And heaven help you if you got any ideas about this Pat Davis.
I tell you, sweetheart, it's strictly business.
When does it pay off?
Well, you know how it is. These things take time.
That's what you told me last week.
Well, you just be patient, baby.
When are you going to see her again?
Tonight at 9.
Is this the night?
Could be. How do I look?
Come here, you dog. You know, I'll cut your heart out if you ever get any other ideas about another woman.
Hey, is that clock right?
You've still got time for one more.
But...
I get to work.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Rogers.
Hello, Charles. Is there a lady?
Uh-huh.
Where is she?
Follow me, please.
She been waiting long?
Oh, ever since 8:30.
It'll do her good.
Jeff.
Well, Pat.
I couldn't imagine what happened.
I'm sorry, baby. I was detained.
Voilà. Would you care to order now, Monsieur Rogers?
What do you say, Pat?
Well, I'm not hungry at the moment.
Okay, Charles. We'll call you when we're ready.
Certainement. Very good, monsieur.
Well, how have you been, honey?
A lot you care. You haven't called me in a week.
That's because I've been working on a big deal.
A big deal?
Listen, sweetheart, if this thing goes through, we can kiss this town goodbye.
You mean that, Jeff?
Would I lie to you?
Well, what is it?
I just got word from the boys at Hollywood Park that they're ready to roll.
I don't understand.
Well, a friend of mine has got a race fixed for Monday. This nag will pay 50 to 1.
You sure, Jeff? You know how
I tell you, it can't miss.
But when it comes to horses...
Well, if you think I don't know what I'm talking about...
Of course not, darling.
Okay, then. How much money can you raise?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I could manage 1,000.
Ah, chicken feed.
But, Jeff, that's all I have in the bank.
What about your husband?
My husband?
Yeah. In a racket like his, he must keep a lot of cash on hand.
Well...
Well, doesn't he?
I suppose so.
What do you mean you suppose so? If someone plays a number that hits, Barney has to pay him off right away.
Well, I don't know much about Barney's business.
Well, take it from me. It's strictly cash and carry, and policy in this town is heavy cash.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Find out where Barney keeps it.
But, Jeff...
Don't worry, we're not going to take it with us. As soon as our horse comes in, you'll put it back. Then it's you and me for foreign shores.
But supposing...
Come on, sweetheart, make up your mind. They're not going to hold the boat for us.
All right, Jeff. You can make the reservations.
Come.
Hello, Jeff.
You back again, Rita?
Evidently. I was wondering how you made out with Pat Davis.
Not so hot.
What happened?
I guess it just wasn't my night.
I can't believe it.
It does seem incredible, doesn't it?
It does to me, honey. 'Cause you know I think you're irresistible.
You want my autograph?
Well, if it's on a picture, it might help. It would be a wonderful way to remember you.
Come again?
Well, obviously, I'm not going to have much more.
What are you raving about?
I picked up this envelope at the desk.
What? Give me that.
I've already opened it. And can you imagine my surprise? I didn't know you were going to Canada.
Who says I am?
Oh, did you buy the ticket for a friend?
Oh, now, Rita, baby, you don't think I'd run out on you.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. You know how I feel about you, Jeff. I would never stand in your way. But I wonder how Mrs. Davis will take it. And, what about Barney Davis?
What about Barney Davis?
I was just wondering if he'll be able to bear up under his loss. Have a nice ride, Jeff. I've had mine.
$41 left, 28 right, 14 left, 37 right. What the devil?
Yeah, what is it, Barney?
You busy, Doc?
Well, I was just going to take my vitamins.
Well, take a double dose later. Come in here. I want to show you something.
What's cooking, Barney?
Me. Take a look in that safe.
Huh? Hey, someone's been in there.
Yeah, hey.
Well, don't look at me, Barney. I don't know nothing about it.
You sure, Doc?
I swear.
There was over 50 grand in that till.
Well, I ain't the only one who's got the combination. What about Tony Farrow? He left the place after I did last night.
Get him.
He ain't here. He phoned this morning to say he wasn't coming in.
No?
No, he said he ate some Chinese food or something yesterday. He didn't feel so hot. If I told him once, I told him a million times. With his ulcers, he oughtn't to mess around with stuff like that.
And what do you recommend in my case?
Huh?
I'm suffering from a loss of 50 grand.
Oh. Well, maybe we ought to go up and see Tony.
Say no more, Doc. That's one prescription I'm going to follow.
I understand you.
What's the matter, Tony? I thought I was speaking English.
Yeah, but I can't believe it. Who could have walked off with that dough?
Oddly enough, that's just the question I was going to ask you.
Well, what about Doc here?
I left the office before you did.
Well, I guess you're elected, Tony.
Oh, am I?
That's the way it looks to me.
What about your missus?
Pat?
She knows a combination.
Are you insinuating?
Yeah, I am.
You take that back.
Let me go.
Are you going to take that back?
You think you're smart. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Davis. You're a sucker. If I told you what I know about Pat...
What do you know about Pat?
Never mind.
But I do mind. And if you're trying to keep a secret from me, I know just the thing to bring it out in the open.
Who's there?
Oh, it's only me, Pat.
What's the matter, Barney? You look upset.
I just got some distressing news.
You want a drink?
That might help.
What happened?
Well, you know I don't like to bother you with my problems.
You always treat me as though I were a child.
I didn't mean it that way, honey. Well, here's to us.
No. I won't drink with you unless you tell me what happened.
Well, you know Tony Farrow works for me.
The one who's always walking around with all those pills?
No, that's Doc Julian. Tony's the tall, good-looking one. Of course, he isn't so handsome right now.
What do you mean?
He said a couple of things about you.
What?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
What did he say?
That you were carrying on behind my back.
How can you have the nerve to say a thing like that?
Well, you asked me. I
You listened
can't.
to that horrible man.
Now,
You
Pat,
stood
please.
there while he attacked my character.
I didn't stand there.
You took his word against mine.
Where are you going?
What do you care? You don't love me.
Pat, come back. Pat!
Order, please.
This is Mr. Rogers in 412.
Yes, sir?
What do I have to do to get a little service around here? This is the 4th time I've called for a bellboy.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll check.
Never mind, he's here now. Just a second. Take it easy, will you? You got your... Hey, what's the... Idea.
Yes? You, Rita Sherman?
That's right.
I was wondering whether you'd like to go out with me.
What?
Actually, I'm just trying to be polite because you don't have much choice in the matter.
What are you babbling about?
My name is Sergeant Corbett. I'm with the Homicide Division.
So?
So, a boyfriend of yours got himself knocked off last night.
A boyfriend of mine?
Didn't you used to run around with Jeff Rogers?
You mean Jeff?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Why would I lie to a pretty girl like you? Better pack a bag, honey. I think you're going to be away for a long, long time.
Just a second.
Yeah? You Mike Waring, the Falcon?
That's right.
I'd like to talk to you.
You think you're in any condition? What happened to your face?
I had an accident.
You must have been a big boy.
It wasn't that kind.
Well, anything you say.
You don't believe me?
What difference does it make? It's your face and your story, Mr.
Scolari. Vincent Scolari.
Sit down.
Thanks.
Oh, what's on your mind?
You read about that killing last night?
Which one? This is New York, you know.
I'm in at the Maynard Hotel. I got a fellow named Jeff Rogers.
Well?
They're holding my wife for the murder.
Your wife?
Rita Sherman.
And your name is Scolari? Well, that figures.
That's Rita's maiden name. We're separated.
Was this Jeff Rogers the cause?
Nah, it was my fault. Rita picked up with Jeff after I started horsing around. But she never killed him.
And who did?
That's what I'm paying you to find out.
Did you say paying?
Will $500 hold you for a spell?
And a little while longer.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, thanks.
Now, I don't want you to bother Rita with this any more than you have to.
Well, I'll need certain information.
I can fill you in.
Okay. What kind of a boy was this Jeff Rogers?
A real Casanova type. Dames all went nuts about him.
Who was the last one?
A dame named Pat Davis.
Now, who's she?
I don't know. But for those $500, maybe you can find out. I'll be seeing you, Waring.
This is Ed Hurley again, friends. I have a little suggestion for you ladies who wonder what you're going to do for some interesting menu ideas. And my suggestion is this. Just get a 2-pound loaf of Kraft smooth melting pasteurized processed cheese food, Velveta. You can melt Velveta for smooth, delicious cheese sauce that'll add extra goodness to vegetables or seafood or rice or just plain toast for a fine main dish. And it's such an easy sauce to make. All you do is melt a half-pound of Velveta in the top of your double boiler. Notice how smooth it melts without any lumps at all. Then slowly stir in 1/4 cup of milk, season to your taste, and there you have it. A delicious cheese sauce with a wonderful, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. A flavor that everyone, the youngsters and Grandma included, will enjoy often. And it's a wholesome dish, because Velveta is so rich in important food values from milk. So whether you melt Velveta for a swell cheese sauce or slice it thick for hearty sandwiches, you'll find Velveta is a mighty handy helper, Mother. Get a 2-pound loaf tomorrow, won't you? It's America's favorite cheese food, the one and only Velveta, made by Kraft.
Now back to the adventures of the Falcon. An hour has passed since Mike was retained by a Mr. Vincent Scolari to solve the murder of Jeff Rogers. And now as we find Mike, he's about to earn his retainer.
Who is it?
Telegram from Mrs. Pat Davis.
Oh, just a minute.
Hello.
Well, you're not with Western Union.
Well, I tried to enlist, but they wouldn't have me.
What do you want?
Awfully drafty out here.
Well?
Now, I can assure you, Mrs. Davis, I'm perfectly respectable. I'm a second-class scout in Troop 87.
Come in.
Thanks.
You don't look like a Boy Scout to me.
Well, I'm kind of tall for my age.
What's your name, mister?
Waring.
Just Waring?
Well, there's a mic that goes in front of it, but no one seems... What's the matter, Mrs. Davis? Something burning?
Why?
Well, the way you wrinkled your nose when I mentioned my name, I thought maybe you smelled something offensive.
Maybe I did.
Huh?
Falcon.
Oh.
What do you want?
Well, as I started to explain, in order to be a first-class scout, I have to pass map-making. And my assignment is to locate all the Pat Davises in New York.
How are you doing?
Well, not bad. Would you mind telling me a little about yourself? What kind of men do you prefer?
Those who know where they're not wanted.
Oh, they're hard to find. Was Jeff Rogers like that?
Who?
Jeff Rogers? Boy who was murdered last night?
I never had the pleasure.
You sure?
If that's the only reason you came here...
I know, I can get.
You've been reading my mind.
Well, I've had enough practice. But I don't know what I'm going to tell my scoutmaster. He's going to be awfully disappointed.
Who's there?
Only me, Pat.
You're home early.
Yes, I had a purpose. I wanted to apologize for last night. You stormed out of here before I had a chance to say I'm sorry.
Well?
Well, now I'm no longer sorry.
What?
What was the Falcon doing here?
Who?
A private detective.
There was no one here all afternoon.
Don't lie to me, Pat. Doc Julian saw him.
Are you going to take his word?
Yes. Did you wire Waring to get you evidence for a divorce?
Did I? That's the funniest thing I've heard in years.
I'm glad it tickled you. We'll see if Mr. Waring finds it so amusing.
Bonnie, you're not going up to see him.
You mind?
Darling, you've got to believe me. There's absolutely nothing to it. Why would I want a divorce?
That's what I intend to find out. And I don't think anyone can be as helpful in that as Mr. Waring. Come in. You must be Mike Waring.
Must be. And you?
My name is Barney Davis.
What's on your mind, Davis?
Oh, call me Barney. Everyone else does.
Oh, I wouldn't presume.
No, I want us to be real friendly. You were around to see my wife this afternoon.
You asking or telling me?
I'm telling you. How long have you known her?
We just met this afternoon.
You're lying.
Okay, have it your way. We were childhood sweethearts.
Who put her up to getting the divorce?
Look, Davis, you're out of your mind. I'm working for a girl named Rita Sherman.
The woman they're holding for that Jeff, what's-his-name's murder?
That's right.
What does Pat have to do with her?
Well, you're providing part of the answer right now.
I don't get it.
Your wife was running around with Jeff Rogers.
You're a liar. She didn't even know the guy.
No? Well, I'll bet she tried to stop you from coming up here and learning the truth.
What?
Am I right?
Now listen to me, Waring. I love my wife.
Well, bully for you.
And if you think you're kidding me with this routine, you're not. Doc?
Want me?
Yeah. Come in here for a second, will you?
Sure thing.
This is Mr. Waring.
Hi.
What do you think of the specimen?
You mean you want a diagnosis?
No, I've diagnosed his trouble myself. What I want you to do is give him a treatment.
Oh, sure.
Now, look, little man, put away the lead pipe.
You got it wrong, Waring. It's a very delicate instrument. You heard of them taking a spinal tap, didn't you?
Huh?
Well, I worked the other end. I'm just gonna tap your skull. No.
How do you feel, Mike?
Huh?
I don't know why I should try to revive you. This is the first time I can remember you being quiet in months.
When did you get here, Sergeant?
The superintendent phoned me after the brawl was over. Now, what went on here?
Well, you know that Rita Sherman you're holding?
The girl who murdered her boyfriend?
She didn't.
What makes you so sure?
She's my client.
Well, silly of me to even ask. But it's funny Rita didn't tell me about it.
It was her husband who hired me.
What's his name?
Vincent Scolari. He told me it was his fault. He and Rita broke up. Rogers had nothing to do with it.
But you know Rita didn't kill him.
Yes, Corbett. This boy Jeff was quite a man with the ladies.
That I discovered for myself.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you discover anything about a girl named Pat Davis?
Pat Davis? No.
Well, Jeff kissed her off.
How do you know that?
I'll leave it to Rita.
You don't think I'd take her word for it?
Well, she may know something.
She might, but I doubt it. Otherwise, she certainly wouldn't have hired you.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's find out. All right, Lyons, open them up.
Hi, Al.
Hi, Emma. Hey, what happened to you?
He got that for using his head.
Huh?
Come on, open them up. Hello, Rita.
You're wasting your time, Sergeant. I am not answering any more questions.
No, you'll have to, Angel.
Who are you?
Mike Waring.
Mike Waring.
Yes, your husband hired me to act for you.
My husband?
Mm-hmm. Vincent Scolari.
All right. I give up. What's the answer?
Well, it's very simple, Rita.
I doubt it. I've done a lot of silly things in my life, but I never got married.
What?
But you can stick around, Mr. Waring. Maybe we can do business.
Remember, tomorrow at your grocer's, you can get a wonderful new salad oil for your homemade salad dressings, your cooking, your baking. It's Kraft Salad Oil, the first salad oil for home use ever offered by the makers of all those wonderful Kraft dressings. Kraft Salad Oil is a lighter-bodied oil, superfine to blend perfectly with other ingredients. Get a pint or quart bottle tomorrow at your grocer's. Ask for Kraft Salad Oil.
And now back to the adventures of the Falcon. Just a few seconds have passed since Mike Waring learned that Rita Sherman was never a bride. From which our hero draws one conclusion. Obviously, if Rita was never married, her husband couldn't have hired Mike.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
You boys aren't fooling me, so you might just as well run along.
I tell you, this Scolari claimed he was your husband.
How could he have been?
Well, he gave me $500 to represent you. Here, look.
So what does that prove?
Well, what have I got to gain by a story like this?
I don't know. Maybe you're a cop.
I'm a private detective.
Are you any good?
The Falcon, good. Why, Sing Sing is loaded with people who'll be glad to vouch for him.
All right, Sergeant, knock off. Listen, Rita. You have no idea who this Scolari is?
Well, what did he look like?
Good-looking boy. At least he was before someone played Potsy on his face. About 5'11", dark hair.
Nope.
Spoke with a very slight accent.
I can't place him.
But he must be a friend of yours.
Well, how do you figure that?
Well, this was hardly the act of an enemy. Unless he was so confident I would foul this up and land you in the chair.
You could do that, too, you know.
No.
Listen, Mike, you sure you haven't imagined all this? How does Barney Davis fit into this?
Remember that Pat Davis I told you about?
Yeah?
Well, that's his wife.
Why didn't you say so before?
You didn't give me a chance. You know anything about this, Rita?
Well, only that Jeff used to see her occasionally.
Was he in love with her?
I wouldn't think so. He only bought one ticket for Canada.
Then you knew he was running out on you?
He was running out on Mrs. Davis. I was supposed to meet him there later.
Now, why would he run out on her?
Well, I wouldn't know for sure, but I think she gave him some money to invest.
Oh, how much money?
I have no idea.
Well, I have.
Huh?
An idea. I just got a hunch who this Vincent Scolari might be.
Who?
A fella named Tony Farrow. He works for Barney Davis.
He does?
He did the last I heard.
Well, what are we waiting for, Sergeant? Let's see if he's still gainfully employed. Hello, Barney.
Well, if it isn't my good friend, the Falcon.
Yeah, though a little the worse for wear.
Nah, how did that happen?
You don't really care. You know Sergeant Corbett?
Oh, sure. How are you, Sergeant?
Fine.
I brought him along to vouch for me. You wouldn't believe me when I told you I wasn't working for your wife.
Well, I believe you now.
Oh, that's very big of you. What convinced you?
Pat told me the truth.
Ah. Is your wife around?
No.
Where is she?
Out.
You mean you trust her alone?
What kind of a crack is that?
Oh, come on, Barney. Wake up.
You know the last guy who sounded off like that?
It was Tony Farrow.
How did you know about him?
He was up to see me. You made a bad enemy there.
I'm not worried.
Well, you should be. You know what he went and did?
No, but you're going to tell me anyway.
He hired me to work for Rita Sherman.
Well?
But don't you see his motive? He hoped that I could pin the Jeff Rogers murder on you.
Why me?
Because he hated you and you were a hot suspect. Your wife was seeing Rogers.
Listen, Waring, I told you before.
Come on, you've got to face it, Barney. You've been a patsy.
Take that back.
Watch it, Davis.
Now, believe me, that little girl never deserved anything you did for her, including murder.
What did you say?
Oh, why pretend, Barney? You heard me the first time. All right, Sergeant, make like a policeman.
I know I shouldn't ask questions, Mike.
No, don't be silly, Rita. I'd be disappointed if you didn't.
Well, all right then. What was this all about?
Oh, it was the oldest story in the world, Angel. Barney thought Jeff Rogers was going to steal his wife, so he took steps.
Said steps being to Jeff's room where he killed him, huh?
Exactly.
Well, how did you know that Barney was the guilty critter?
When I learned that Vincent Scolari was Tony Farrow.
Well, if your purpose was to confuse me, Mr. Waring, you succeeded.
Well, you know why Tony was beaten up?
Yeah? Because he made a crack about Barney's wife.
Which came out when Barney was questioning him about 50 grand that was missing from the safe.
So?
So, if Tony had swiped the dough in addition to insulting Pat Davis, what do you think would have happened to him?
Barney would have killed him.
And the mere fact that Tony was alive, therefore meant that Barney had checked up on the story and found it to be true. And once I realized that Barney knew about Rogers and his wife, I knew he'd killed him.
I get it.
Ah, good for you. Any further questions, Angel?
Mm-mm.
Well, then it's my turn now. How is for you and me to...
Nope.
Now, how can you tell what I was going to say?
When it comes to that department, every woman's a detective. Good night, Angel.
There comes a time in the life of every homemaker when she has to fix a dinner fast, and that's when Kraft Dinner is such a help. You see, in just 7 minutes cooking time, Kraft Dinner makes delicious macaroni and cheese. Wonderful, tender macaroni with fine cheese flavor all through. Just like I said, in only 7 minutes cooking time. That's because every package of Kraft Dinner gives you a special quick cooking macaroni and just the right amount of Kraft grated for that grand cheese flavor. So tomorrow, get a couple of packages of Kraft Dinner.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Kraft Foods Company brings you The Adventures of the Falcon, starring Les Damon.
Hello? Yes, this is the Falcon speaking. Oh, Eloise. Oh, I'd love to see you, but I'm afraid you'll have to deal me out tonight, Angel. I have a job to do for some characters who got involved in a stiff poker game. Started out nice and friendly, but before they got through, they found they were playing for blood.
This is Ed Hurley, friends, inviting you on behalf of the Kraft Foods Company to listen to The Adventures of the Falcon. You met the Falcon first in his best-selling novels. Then you saw him in his thrilling motion picture series. Now join him on the air when the Falcon solves
The Case of the Raw Deal.
Before we join the Falcon in his latest adventure, I'd like to tell you folks about Kraft's golden cheese food, Velveta. Velveta is such good eating. Just taste that grand, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And Velveta is so good for you. It's rich in important food values from milk itself. For swell-tasting snacks, for good, hearty sandwiches, for thrifty, easy, hot dishes, it's smart to keep stocked with Velveta. Get it tomorrow in the handy quarter-pound package or in the economical 2-pound loaf. The cheese food of top quality. Velveta is made only by Kraft.
And now, the case of the raw deal.
It's Sunday night in New York, and in room 508 of the room Hotel Westland, 4 men sit around a table on which stand a couple of beer bottles, some glasses, butt-filled ashtrays, and $65,000 in cash. Gilbert Bannister, eldest and fattest of the group, studies the 5 playing cards in his hand, then places them face down on the table. Picks up the deck, turns to the tall, blond young man on his left.
How many, Summers?
I'll take 2, Bannister.
2 it is. Kress?
I'll play these.
Pat, huh? Looks like your luck's changing, Kress.
Maybe.
Well, how about you, Freitag?
Yeah, I have to think about this pet hand of Kress's.
Yes, who is it?
Bellboy.
All right, come in. Well, Freitag, made up your mind?
Yeah. I think I take 1 card.
Right. There you are. And now you, son, you can put the beer down. What? Say, you're not a bellboy.
Well, what do you know? I guess I'm not. Look out, he's got a gun. That's right, Bright Eyes, sharp fella. Everybody sit tight except Fatso. You, Fatso, get up.
Me?
Who else? Get up. Now walk over to the wall and face it. That's right. We do this one at a time. Now you, Blondie.
I guess that means me.
I guess it does. And now, Bright Eyes.
Okay. Only be careful with that gun.
Yeah, sure, Bright Eyes, sure. Well, Baldy, that leaves you. Come on, get moving.
All right. Only first I do this.
All right, hold it, fellas. Stay right where you are. Baldy made a little mistake, that's all. He's sleeping it off. Well, I better clear up this table so you fellas can have some more room. Get all this cash off it. All right, fellas, here we are. Now you can get back to your game. Only, I think this time it's going to be penny ante. So long. Who's there?
Me, Rocky Hagel.
Oh, just a second, kid. Hello, baby.
Hello, Rocky. Hey, you're packing. We going someplace?
I am.
Alone?
Look, I just made a big haul, kid. May have to keep on the move for a while. Can't carry extra weight.
I carry my own weight, Rocky. You know that.
Well, it complicates things. When I'm settled...
You know something? This has all the earmarks of a brush.
Now, believe me, kid.
That'll be the day.
I'm going to send for you.
I can hardly wait. Fact is, I'm not going to wait. You're taking me with you, or it's goodbye now.
And it's goodbye.
Just like that.
That's the way you want it.
I can see you're all broken up about it.
Well, you're not shedding any tears.
I have already. I've seen this coming for a long time.
Well, maybe it's a good thing we've got it settled.
Maybe it is.
Didn't work out, that's all. No reason to get sore at each other, huh, baby?
Oh, I'm not sore at you, Rocky.
Good.
I'm sore at myself for being such a sucker. Letting you kid me along.
I wasn't kidding. It's just
not
that I...
much you weren't.
No, I'm not going to argue about it. It's all over now. Nothing we can do.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Rocky. I might think of something. At least it's worth a try.
Hello?
Is Michael Waring there, the Falcon?
This is the Falcon speaking.
Oh, good. My name is Gilbert Bannister. I have a job for you, sir.
What kind of job?
Well, some friends and I were robbed last night, and we want you to find the thief.
Why did you wait till this morning to call me?
Why, I don't know. We were upset. I realize it was foolish. I'm sorry.
Well, you don't have to apologize. But you may have to kick in with traveling expenses. If it was good pickings, the crook is probably on his way to Timbuktu by now. How much did he take?
$65,000.
Ha! Timbuktu, here I come.
Well, first, can you come over here to the Hotel Westland? We'd like to talk to you.
All right, Bannister, I'll be seeing you.
I can introduce you to the others, Mr. Waring. Gentlemen, here's the Falcon. This is Harry Summers.